Hi folks, my name is Alex and welcome to my first video. Today I want to describe you a very special DJ gear. This is a DJ mixer, which is the central core of the DJ mix. The aim of the DJ mixer is to mix obviously the two sources of music. Today, for instance, I have a CDJ here for digital sound and then turntable, as you can see here, which have analog sound that is then pre-amplified into the mixer. This mixer is very special in the sense of its design for the vinyl and really focused on the sound quality. That's, by the way, the motto of the two brands that collaborate to elaborate this mixer, which are Formula Sound, the manufacturer, that's an English brand, which built this mixer in England, and it was designed in collaboration with Funktion One, the famous brand of speakers. I will go into description of this mixer because there are some specialities that are not very well described on the internet. There's no video, so that's the reason why I decided to do it, to show you a little bit of what is inside, what are the special things. And as I said before, it's really dedicated to vinyl. By the way, for the audiophiles that could see this video, you can adjust the capacitance related to your cartridge. If you're using, like me, an orthophone Concorde, something classic, that's an electro ear, the capacitance is around 200 picofarad, which are basically standard, the same for the Club MK2 later on. What is a bit special about this mixer is the size first, and then the fact that the power is external, the converter power is external, as you can see here. Then the mixer is a bit lighter because of it, and it has very low internal perturbation because of the electricity conversion. So that means that the brand claim that the distortion is below 0.01% at plus 10 dB on the master, and the noise floor when the fader are down is then minus 82 dB when the master is at 0 dB. So that means there's basically no internal perturbance. Something special about the mixer is the size. As you can see here, you can see it next to the CDJ and the turntable. It's a little bit higher because the plate is at 11 centimeter high, while the CDJ and turntable are about 9, so you have a little offset on it. The width as well is shorter than classical full channel mixer. It's only 21 centimeter wide and 36 depth, so only considering the mixer, so that means you need obviously more for the cables. When it comes to the cables, what's nice is that you have output that are for the master in XLR plus RCA that I'm currently using for the record, plus another extra record at 0 dB. And in addition to this, you have also an extra XLR that could be, as you like, a sub-bass or a sum mono. And this you can switch. We'll see that later, a switch underneath the mixer. Going through the different knobs available on the mixer, and you can see there's quite a lot because it starts first with the gain. And then you have a 4-band EQ, which is very nice, in particular if you want to mix in techno genre or stuff like this. And then a dedicated filter that combines a high pass and a low pass filter per channel. So that means you're having a total of 6 knobs to equalize your sound. Just before doing a try, I just maybe tell you what are the frequencies that operates. So starting from the low, it starts from 20 Hz to 120, then the mid-low 120 Hz to 800, then 800 to 4000 for the mid-high, and the high is from 4000 to 20K. So basically that's the full range of the EQ, plus the filters let's do a little demonstration of it. Okay, so let's go on it. So if I cut first the bass, then mids, mid low, mid high, and high. You can boost obviously, and then here's the high pass filter and the low pass filter. to say that it's extremely convenient when using it with vinyl to mix, basically using the filters, and then you can sculpt a little bit more your mix, so that's really helpful. There's also something a bit special about this mixer, contrary to the other of the range, because this one is a 2.2 that was released more recently, 2009, while originally 6.2L and 4.2L were released back in 2016, and they were using an aux return, basically the same as on the Allen Heath mixer. But here in this one, what's included is a send return, basically the same as on the Pioneer. And then you can engage it with the FX button as here, and then you have a dry wet. In my case, I am using the RMX 1000 from Pioneer, and this remix box works as an editor of the sound. So that means if there's nothing happening, you have the clear sound, and then you can add something. So you have to use it like 100% wet, and you have a little click when you engage it. I will try to show you and demonstrate a bit. And it's the same also for the filter. You have a button to engage it, and there's a little bit of the click when you engage it. Basically for the filter it's not an issue, because you can keep it activated all the time, like no point if you are at 0 here and maximum here. There's no addition of the sound. However, when it comes to the effects, maybe you want to use it on one channel and then after on the other, so you have to engage and disengage in the mix. There's no other option. So you have to be smart when engaging it. I will show you how it sounds, so let's continue the music. And so if you do it smart, it's okay, but anyway. Okay, here it is for the effects. Then after that you can engage and disengage the crossfader here, to put this one on the channel of the crossfader and this one on the other one. That's the way it works. The crossfader, by the way, is a bit strange. It's only a 30 millimeter crossfader, which is short, and I had to adapt it using the trick of the credit card to make it sharp, because it was not correctly cutting the music as you could expect like this. There is also a fader contour so that you can make it smooth or not. Well, basically it's not really useful when you are playing techno music, but well, could be for some DJs. The fader also are super smooth and seem a little bit weak. It's even, let's say, weaker than it is on the Xone 92, where it's also super free fader. So here it is like this. I mean, you have to get used to it, and it's super linear. So it's basic. You cannot adjust the contour of this fader. It's like 100% linear, which fits very well. One word about the Q here, so you can engage it from here, and you have the mix obviously between the Q and the master. And what is very good is that you have a pre-EQ in a headset, so that means it's very convenient if you are playing vinyls and beat matching vinyls, because you usually try to introduce the new song without adding the bass, and that's the bass also that you use to beat match. So you can go back in your headset having the full music, like without any EQ, which works both for the EQ itself and the filters. So it's very convenient. I use it very often, sometimes having a high pass filter on the music, and then I want to check the bass, so I just press the button pre and remove it. That's extremely convenient. Some other words about the mixer. So here are the master, the boot, something very classical, and then you have also an extra entry for the microphone in XLR, and a third channel that is in jack 6.35. There's also a Q on it. I think I told you all the main thing. Now some of the specialties related really to the vinyls is a rumble killer, and that's very nice function. There are in fact two rumble killers that could be combined in this mixer. So the first one is just based on the frequencies. It will cut all the frequency below 7 Hz and linearly between 7 Hz and 14 Hz. This you can engage and disengage from the back panel of the mixer. And there is another very smart function that I want to show you, because as far as I know it's not very well described on the internet on what's happening on this, and that's extremely useful function. So let's say you will have a vinyl here, and I will mimic the rumble, basically just put the needle on it and tapping here, as you can see, on the turntable. So that's a way to mimic the rumble. One technical word about the rumble. Here, imagine that's the groove on the vinyl. Here is your needle. The needle is going onto it like this, and will read the frequency of the music, with the high being like something very rapid like this, and the low being like more like this. Usually in music production there's no way to have a stereo bass, and it's technically impossible with the vinyl, just because here is the right part and the left part that is red. So that means you cannot move the needle in big way in one side only. So if it happens, it's because of the rumble, because the rumble on the turntable is coming from one point, basically, on the chassis of the turntable. So that means that it will be asymmetrical, and it's very easy to see on the mixer. So here I will press a button that is internal into the mixer and disengage the rumble killer, and I will show you here, and you can see very well that what's happening on the master is that you see here the left channel is way higher than the right. So the trick of this guy from Lanaud, that is extremely smart, is based on the low EQ, is to filter the sound coming from the low. So that means that the right and left channel below 120 Hz are summed together, and then it will kill in some way the rumble. And as you can see here, if I re-engage and then I tap, you can see that basically there's nothing happening on the master. It's very lower. So that means it works, and apparently there's no way that it will disturb the music itself, because no music producer will put a stereo below 100 something, 150 Hz. There's no point to do it. Even if you are using for some reason with CDJ, well, it works as well. And on the contrary, in some way it can boost a little bit your bass as having it as a mono. So that's a very cool thing that they did about that. Some of the words also related to having the machine in the head is that the knobs are very solid. It feels really like a rotary. That means they are very precise, and it's like 1,000 miles from a common mixer if you compare to the Pioneer or the Sound One, for instance. Even if the Sound are very solid, already these ones are really better. So that's most of the things that I wanted to show you today. I'm very happy. It's a couple of months right now that I'm using this mixer now and then, almost every day basically, and I really like it for the most of the feature. Having a 2-channel mixer is not really an issue, because I'm using it with 2 turntables and 2 CDJ, and then because you can switch the source here, it's not really an issue. About the sound quality, it's great. What is the best, in my opinion, is really the mix in between. If you are mixing 2 sources of techno, like as I have here, lots of techno music with lots of bass, really the mixing of the bass is great, and all these filters are very useful. So really that's what I would recommend about this mixer. One last word about the price, because obviously the value is important in the market we are living today. It's quite expensive, but consider that first it's made in England, so it's like handmade in England and checked also, and it's basically the same price as a DGM 900 Nexus 2, so it's 2,200 euro, which is quite expensive, but I hope that's a mixer you can keep for a very long time. Very accurate, very precise, and yeah, thank you Formula Sound for making it. One recommendation, however, for Formula Sound is why did you leave this cable related to the power just out of the mixer? It's really not convenient. It would have been better to have a plug into it and then plug from the mixer to the converter. It would have been way easier. And second thing is about the crossfader. how come you can send out from your factory a crossfader that is not properly set? It's very strange. It's not a big deal just to add the credit card as I did, but it's a little bit surprising. Okay, all that said, thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. I really liked as well to show this product, because for me it's not famous as it should. It's really excellent quality mixer, and for all guys playing techno, most of you are acknowledging the Sound 92 as the god thing. Really, the god thing is this mixer. I used the 92 before, which is great mixer, and this one is really better. It's not as famous as the Model 1, for instance. I never tried properly the Model 1, but this one is really great. So that's all what I could say, guys. I hope you enjoy. You can have a look at DJ set I did with this mixer at Paul de Lanaud in Limoges. That's a melodic techno set, so I will put the link in the description. You can go and have a look and subscribe to the YouTube channel of my association, Lucé Media and Fun, that is organizing a festival this summer, and I really would like to see you this summer and enjoy. Bye bye, guys.